Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Job Hour. Got a really good coffee here today from someone completely new. So I've never had this coffee until you know just a few days ago actually. This is called Yes Please Coffee. They're from California and they are a micro roaster. And what would separate them, against thousands of other roasters is that they rotate every week. So there's a new blend and there's a new single origin every week. I was pretty blown away by that. But how I found out about this guy Tonks, who runs his own roastery, is that he was posting Boards of Canada stuff, the electronic group. So if you're watching this and you're into coffee, and you don't know who that is, it's an electronic group. They just made a new album. There's a huge fan base. Anyway, I find out this guy making these Boards of Canada videos is, running his own micro roaster. And I was like, oh, okay, so he's not just into coffee, he runs his own roaster. And then I find out he's rotating the roasts every week. And, the names of the coffees are named after Boards of Canada songs and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, I gotta bite. I'll bite. The roast in question is Acts of Magic. So it's a blend of Guatemala, Rwanda, and Thailand. I was reading some of the notes. I think there was a little kind of brochure thing he gave me with this, which is really cool. This is, to my understanding, probably a light to medium. Maybe just light. Has kind of a nutty kind of smell. Really just easygoing smell. Nothing too kick you right in the nostrils. Very, very mellow. And these beans look nice and fresh. All right, what do I think? I did have to grind this a little bit finer than I normally would. I'm using the Brazza Encore for this cup. I just made a cup of drip this morning. I have made a pour over pretty recently, and I've made two of them. One pour over I did pretty well, and the other one I over extracted to hell. I'm not going to count too heavy on the pour overs I've done because of my inconsistency. I've been trying to ease up on my agitation. This is pretty darn solid as a drip. It's got a lot of good body, which I appreciate, for such a light roast. But I do recommend grinding finer so that you can get a little bit more of a robust taste. So the body is very nice. It's kind of got, maybe a slight tinge of chocolate and then kind of a black tea. And then on the aftertaste, I taste maybe some of the fruitier notes, the more floral stuff. I'm wondering because I've had coffee from Thailand before and Vietnam, and those were usually Robustas, or those were the kind of more chocolatey, tobacco-y kind of flavored coffees. So I'm wondering if the Thailand is what's giving this the kind of that round body, and then maybe the Guatemala is the more exotic part of it. That's just a guess. I could be completely full of. I'm not gonna say it. All right, I'll say it. I was gonna, full of beans, ha ha. But anyway, I think that might be the case. That's just a guess. I'd love to hear the gentleman who runs the company. I'd love to hear what his thoughts are on kind of what went into this blend. And once again, these guys are called Yes Please Coffee. Yes PLZ Coffee. I'm not sponsored. I just found out about them because of the Boards of Canada stuff, which I'm sure that's probably how a lot of people find out about this guy. And then they also find out, hey, this guy does his own coffee roaster. That's pretty cool. Of course, these two niche worlds, this weird IDM electronic group, and then people who love coffee and third wave coffee and all that. Of course, those would intersect. I tend to drink more light roast stuff in the summer and the spring, and then once
fall and autumn come around, and then winter, that's, you know, I like my medium to dark roast. If you normally can't drink very acidic coffee, for a light roast, this is pretty safe territory in terms of that. It's not too like punch you right in the gut acidic. It's very nice and well rounded out. Which once again, I think that's the Thailand coffee. I could be completely wrong on that. It's gonna be so funny if I'm wrong. Yeah, I think it's cool that number one, how the guy runs the company. Another thing is these guys. I don't think they deliver their beans to any cafe. I think this is just for people who want to make their coffee at home. I watched a few of his videos, and that seems to be the case. And I just think that's so neat. This is just, I think this is the 12-ounce bag. Pretty good price on it, and it got to me really fast. I mean, this shipped out June 5th, 2026, which I assume is also the just freshly roasted. It tastes like it. I would probably give this a 7 out of 10. I know that's a really like high ranking system, but no, I really like it. This is something I would normally drink in the spring or summer, and it's perfect for the time. Well, not only support your local bands and your local artists, but support your local roasters. Out of California, Yes Please Coffee. I will definitely have more of this guy's stuff. He's got this Homestar Espresso that I want to try because he's sponsored with, I think, Breville, and they do the Breville Barista Express, which I own one myself, and I'd love to try their espresso. That sounds really cool. Yeah, his name's Tonks, and TONX, and he's got his own YouTube channel. So if you like Boards of Canada and you like coffee stuff, go check him out. Yes Please Coffee. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.